Welcome to Voices in the Community, where we share the stories and conversations with the students, staff, and community members who make a difference in Franklin Township. I'm Dr. Chase Huotari, Superintendent of FTCSC, and today we're talking about the class of 2039. I wrote that down and could not believe it. It's the class of 2039 that will be entering kindergarten next year. And so we've got an esteemed panel of individuals here that are going to talk a little bit about kindergarten enrollment, what kind of things we look for in kindergarten readiness and how parents can kind of hook up and connect with us. So I've got Dr. Kent Pettet, our Executive Director of Communications, with us to talk a little bit about the communication side. Jeff Murphy, who's our Assistant Superintendent of Staff and Student Service, who talk all about those enrollment dates. Dr. Jenny Matasovsky, our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, everything kindergarten readiness. And finally, Mr. Craig Buckler, our principal at Thompson Crossing Elementary, that we'll get a little bit of joy hearing about dual language at Thompson Crossing Elementary. So we'll jump right into it. Mr. Murphy, let's start with you. So I am a first-time kindergarten parent. I have no idea what to do. In fact, it's Christmas time, and I'm not even thinking about kindergarten yet. But we're heading into the new year, and I think enrollment windows are about to open up. So let's talk a little bit just about the dates and how a parent can kind of access that information so they can find out about enrolling their kindergarten FTCSC.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, it doesn't seem possible that we're looking at 26, 27 already. I agree, but we are. We are opening our window for our future kindergartners on January 19th. 2026. So coming up here shortly, after the new year, we will be opening that window. All communication will come out on our website with direct links on how to apply. And that is where our parents get started with the application process.
So January 19th, and when we talk about maybe the benefits of getting all of that information done, why are we starting this so early? Is there a benefit for a parent getting that in there? Is it connected with the kindergarten screener? How does that work for a parent? Because a lot of parents aren't thinking about enrollment here in January.
Right. Well, first off, our parents sometimes don't realize it's a process. It's a process to enroll. And so we can't expect it to be done in 5 minutes. It is a process, so therefore we like to have that window open, and we like to have as many early registrations as we can to ensure that we have everything ready to go before we get to our screeners later in the spring. And so it does work best if parents start the process from either a laptop or a computer that they have at home. Sometimes we have parents ask about phones, but it's easier to click accidental links, things like that on the phone. So we always recommend the laptop or the desktop there at home. We also, as an added convenience, have laptops available in every single one of our buildings here in Franklin Township that parents can come in and start that registration process right in the offices of any of our buildings as well. And so there are documents that people will see when they go to the link that you will know to prepare for and to have ready for when you do go to register online.
Yeah, and so Ken, I'm going to jump over to you just for a second because we're talking about those documents, and I believe all of that's just available at ftcsc.org. If that parent's looking for what documents they need, is there a place that they can go quick? Because I know before you even start the enrollment process, it's helpful to have all those documents right there with. That way you can cruise through the process a little bit easier. So where do I go find that list of documents?
Yeah, so great question. When you go to our website, which is www.ftcsc.org, up at the top, you'll see an Enroll Now option. And when you click on that option, it will actually walk you right through not only the steps that you will need to do to complete it, but also the information that you'll need to be able to take to the school to complete that registration process.
Yeah, and I'm here now. It's right there for you. Talks about the legal guardian identification and some of the student documents need, including birth certificates, and some of the required documents there. So that's super easy for a parent to get to. And so one of the things that Jeff, you mentioned earlier, and I'm going to kick it over to Jenny, is you talked a little bit about a kindergarten screener, and I think that's probably something that a parents can be like, what is a kindergarten screener? What does that mean? Jenny, you want to talk a little bit about, like, a kid enrolls, they get into our system, and then they eventually get an appointment for a kindergarten screener. What is that kindergarten screener, and what can a parent expect?
Yeah, so this is just like Jeff mentioned, there's a process to all of these different things. So the first part of the screener actually goes out to the parents, and it deals a lot with social readiness skills. Is the child able to button and zip their clothes by themselves? Can they wash their hands without any assistance? Eating independently, following basic instructions, 1 or 2 step, being diverted from one activity to another without becoming upset about it, things like that. Those behaviors that they just see at home, that they've witnessed and helped develop in their children as they've gotten through ages 1 through 4. So the second part of that actually becomes a little bit more formal of a process, where they would come into the township and take the academic portion of the screener. And I use the term academic a little bit loosely because we're not expecting them to be able to read when they get to us, but things like recognizing letters and the sounds they might make, or recognizing their numbers, are a part of that screener as well. And those will actually be given by some of our kindergarten teachers here within the district, who are very familiar with where students might be at that age, coming into the kindergarten setting, and moving them on, knowing that they would then develop those skills while they're in the classroom with the teacher.
And so if I'm a parent, am I prepping for this screener? Am I making sure my kid's ready to go? Or is this just a generally where the kid's at so that we can place the kid effectively in our kindergarten sections? How, if I'm a parent that hasn't done this before, how does this matter to me?
No prep work involved. It's very simple. Again, it's just those behaviors that you're familiar with as the parent. You know your child better than anyone at this point. So it's those behaviors that you've observed with them or worked with them on specifically in order to get them ready to come to school. Even little things as simple as, can they carry on a back and forth conversation with somebody in their age? Can they retell a story in a series of events? Do they speak in complete sentences? Those aren't things that you're going to prep for. They're strictly observatory in nature.
And so the other thing that I get asked often is, you think of technology usage as being something that all kids kind of know how to do now, but a Chromebook's kind of a different animal. What can a parent expect in terms of Chromebook and usage, and what a kid might need to be able to do on that in that system?
Well, we do expect, or we anticipate giving all of our students when they enroll in kindergarten a Chromebook so that they can play around with it a little bit at home, get used to the format. Those specific programs that will be used, however, will be taught in the classroom again. I think we might be surprised. I don't necessarily know that the kids would be surprised with their adaptability to the different types of platforms and things like that we use. They will have access to some program for kindergarten readiness that we will have installed on those Chromebooks that we will instruct the parents how to access, and they can practice with their students at home during that summertime lapse, I guess, between enrollment and the actual start of school. But there will be very specific instructions. And of course, we're always here in order to help. They can reach out to the teaching and learning department or the individual schools, and we will make sure that if they are having difficulty accessing those things, that we get them on the right track so that they can use them during the summer.
Yeah, so that's an awesome point. Is kindergarten registration opens up January 19th. You get all your stuff in and you register in Franklin Township. You then get a Chromebook loaded with literacy and numeracy programs so that you can kind of get a head start on kindergarten, which is a really, really awesome thing that we're doing this year. So Craig, I'm gonna jump to you. And so somebody's enrolling in kindergarten, and as I did my listening tours when I first got hired as superintendent, everybody talked about 3 things: WELC, they love our police department, and DLI. Talk to us a little bit about DLI, and what it takes to get into the program, what it is, just kind of the nuts and bolts of DLI.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity to kind of share about our dual language program. So here at Thompson Crossing, we will next year welcome our 5th cohort of dual language immersion students. And so really what that means is that our kids here are spending half of their day learning in Spanish and half of their day learning in English. It's what is called a 50-50 program. And it's really based on the 3 pillars of bilingual education, developing high proficiency in both languages, Spanish and English, performing above grade level in both languages, and then demonstrating some positive cross-cultural attitudes and behaviors. Basically, what we want the kids to do is be proficient and fluent in reading, writing, and speaking in both English and in Spanish. So we welcome cohorts of 50 kids. So we have 25 kids that are English speakers and 25 kids that are heritage Spanish speakers. And so the beauty of the program is if we have kindergarten students whose first language is Spanish and they're learning English, or the opposite side of that, kids whose native language is English and they're wanting to learn Spanish, they really work together closely. We have two teachers, one teacher that teaches in Spanish, one teacher that teaches in English. It's a paired curriculum. So the good thing is that the kids that are in the monolingual or the English classes are using the same curriculum that is happening in our DLI classes. And so it really, you're just getting a different perspective from what the kids in a traditional classroom would be getting.
That's awesome. It is quite the sight to see kindergartners receiving Spanish instruction, and something that our parents really, really have bought into. You know, you bring a new program like that and you're wondering how it will land with the community, and it's something that people have absolutely loved. And so there is an application process for DLI as well. Is that correct? Not everybody gets in. We typically have a waiting list kind of thing, but there is an application process.
That's correct. So when you go in to register for kindergarten, it will be a link if you are interested in the DLI program. It's part of the registration. You don't go in someplace separate. It's just an additional click when you register for kindergarten, and all of that information's there. We also have a DLI portion in the website as well. I think one thing that we didn't mention yet too that people might be interested to know is that this is open to students from across the district. So Thompson Crossing students do have priority in the program, but we have students that come from all other 6 elementaries, and we have parents that choose to do the drop off and the pickup, but we do offer transportation. So we have shuttle buses that come to and from school every day. So if you are a parent of a kindergartner that's going to be at Adams and you are interested in this program, go ahead and apply, and you will either be in the program or be put on the waiting list for sure.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, there's a shuttle to Thompson Crossing, and so we have kids that come all over the district to go to our DLI program, which kind of shifts me back to you, Jeff. So one of the things that has been new to us in 25-26, and we anticipate continuing in 26-27, is open borders. And so if I'm a kindergarten parent and I'm not in Franklin Township, but I would like to attend Franklin Township schools, how does the process differ? What might they need to think about in terms of enrolling in FTCSC?
Sure. Yeah, we're excited about this opportunity that we did start this year, and we'll continue next year, like you said. And so at the same time, our window will be the same. It will open on January 19th for those that are out of district and are interested in coming to our FTCSC elementary schools, which are K-3, by the way, specializing in our primary aged children. And so we really think that is an added bonus that we have for coming to our district here at kindergarten. So on January 19th, that window opens. It is a different process. At that point, there will be a Google link on the website in which those families can select. It is more of an interest form, asking about their child as well, asking about which school they would want to attend, and they can list their 3 top schools that they would like to attend. And then we match that up with, do we have openings at that building based on current enrollment with FTCSC students? And at kindergarten, we typically do. And the major difference is transportation. So if you are an out-of-district family, you do have to transport your child to and from school. But other than that, it is more of a Google form. We do in the spring, then determine how many of those students we can accept. So it's a little bit longer of a wait. But again, at kindergarten, we typically can accept most all students that do apply. And so it's just, again, a little bit different of a form you'd fill out, and you'd be a little bit longer of a wait to hear from us. We would acknowledge that we received that, but as far as the actual placement into one of our schools, that will come in the spring.
That's good information. So Ken, I'm going to kick it back to you as we kind of start to wrap this all up here. So I am a new parent. I'm an out of district parent, let's say, and I want to find out more about curriculum, enrolling. Is that stuff available for them to go take a look at? Where can I go grab that information?
Yeah, we have multiple ways that we would love to have a future kindergarten parent involved. One way, first, is the website. When you're talking curriculum, that is your best way to just look at the literacy and the math and the science and social studies. What all you would do is go to our main website, and then in the teaching and learning, which is right in the center of the toolbar, there's a drop down arrow, and then you just select whatever subject area you're wanting to learn more about. And it will take you right there, and you can see the curriculum and have a little narrative about that particular curriculum. The other thing that we would just absolutely love to suggest to any future parent is to start following our elementary schools on Facebook and Instagram. Our schools are very active, and they do a wonderful job of posting what it looks like day in and day out from within the walls of the school. And so if you start following the page within a week or two, you're going to feel like you know everything going on in the school. They do a wonderful job of just showing you what day-to-day school life looks like.
That's awesome. Yeah, just a couple clicks there. I was able to check out the Amplify CKLA used in our kindergarten classrooms and look a little bit about everyday math listed on our website. And you're right, Smiling Faces on Facebook's an awesome way to kind of get an inside look into our classroom. So we'll wrap up with this. We've all had kindergarten. Some of our kids are a little bit older than others, and so kindergarten goes a little while back. But if you had one suggestion for a parent, just as they're enrolling their kid in kindergarten, what are you telling them in your little elevator speech, Jeff? What do you got advice for a kindergarten parent?
I guess the first thing that comes to mind is don't be afraid to ask questions. It's a big decision that you're making as a parent for your child. We are very proud of our schools here in Franklin Township. We are proud to explain everything that's happening in our buildings. And so don't be afraid to ask questions. Just call the school building, call here at district office. Any of us can help you and we can answer those questions. We know as a first time school parent, a lot of times it's kind of the unknown. And so we get it. We've all been there, like you said, Chase, as parents ourselves. And we would say, ask questions.
Mr. Buckler, what you got?
Oh gosh, I think that it's important to start talking about school right now with your future kindergartner, talking about what school looks like and sounds like. And there's all kinds of books that you can get and read and share together, and really just having that conversation of what school is going to be and how exciting it's going to be. And it's okay to be a little bit nervous, but that school is an awesome place to be, and that we are ready to welcome all of our kids here in the upcoming school year. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, and there may even be a personalized FTCSC Welcome to Kindergarten book that we're working on. So you may even get a chance to see Captain Flash join our kindergarten classes here in Franklin Township. Dr. Matasovsky, what do you think?
I would echo what Craig said, but from a parent perspective, it's just as scary for the parents to send their children to kindergarten as it is for the kids to get on the bus for that first time. So as a parent, I think it's important that you know we have tremendous educators, pre-K through 12 in the school system, and they're going to have the interest of your student at heart, and they are going to work with your student regardless of where they're at as in their preparation for that. And they're going to make sure that they leave kindergarten just knowing all sorts of things that we may never have anticipated initially when they walked in the door.
Growth is amazing. Dr. Pettet, what do you think?
So I would say, first of all, just knowing that your child's about to embark on a wonderful educational journey in kindergarten, field trips and recess and lunch and related arts and all kinds of amazing, wonderful opportunities that you learn and you get to be a part of, that goes well beyond just the classroom itself. I think you're about to watch your child can start to just take off with an amazing journey. And then the best advice I would give, and I'm the social media guy, so I have to throw it out there, but is to just start following the schools. Follow the district, follow the schools, follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram. They really do a wonderful job of day in and day out showing what life looks like inside the schools. And I truly think within a few weeks of doing that, you will feel like you know the school inside out without potentially ever even having stepped in it. And then the final piece of advice, and this is putting my principal's hat back on, is a lot of elementary schools, their PTOs will already hold meetings over the summer. But to get to those meetings, and especially in August, as the school year starts, get into those meetings. You start learning other parents really quickly, and you learn about opportunities and things going on in the school that you might not otherwise know about. And that's a great place to feel connected very quickly.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. You know, I was actually got a memory that popped up on my phone the other day was my current junior outside her kindergarten classroom door, Mrs. Monday's class there at South Creek. And this is a blink in time for you. It feels like the biggest thing in the world, but it is one small step, and enjoy every second of it. My kids' experience was absolutely wonderful through all of the schools here in Franklin Township, and now they're getting the last couple of years. So we're excited to welcome a bunch of new families. Thank you guys for being with us, for providing all of your information here. I think it's very helpful for a parent to hear that, you know, they can connect with us on our website, enroll now. They can see what's going on. They can read articles about our school on our website. They can look at the curriculum. Also, January 19th is the date that you can start enrolling for 26-27. We've got technology coming your way to get your kid ready. And anything that you need, we stand ready to help out. You can always email info@ftcsc.org, or you can find any of us on the website and send us an email. I promise you'll get somebody that will respond to you really quickly, because we want you to feel comfortable as a part of the FTCSC family. So we're committed to walking alongside families and community members every step of the way. Thanks for joining us on Voices in the Community, and we will see you next time.